Buying a new car should be exciting, not a fast track to the repair shop. But what if we told you some cars start falling apart before even hitting 40,000 miles? From exploding transmissions to engines that just give up on life, these vehicles are mechanical nightmares, hiding behind flashy designs and big promises. Today, we're exposing 17 cars that will break way too soon. And trust us, some of these will shock you. Is your car on the list? Let's find out. 1. Jaguar F-Pace. So, you're dreaming of a sleek luxury SUV that turns heads at every stoplight? You imagine gliding through traffic in your $55,000 Jaguar F-Pace, feeling like royalty. Well, guess what? That dream could turn into a very expensive nightmare before you even hit the 40,000-mile mark. The F-Pace looks fantastic, sure, but beauty is only skin deep. Underneath that stylish exterior lies an electrical system that has a full-blown identity crisis. Owners report everything from failing infotainment screens to glitchy climate control that randomly decides whether you're going to freeze or melt. And let's talk about that transmission, you know, the thing that makes the car go. Yeah, that part isn't too reliable either. Many owners complain about jerky shifting, hesitation, and even full-on transmission failures. Oh, and if you think repairing a Jaguar is cheap, let us introduce you to the reality of luxury car maintenance. Parts cost an arm, a leg, and possibly a kidney. Bottom line, if you want a car that makes you feel special, but also makes your bank account cry, the F-Pace is a fantastic choice. But if you'd prefer a luxury SUV that you know actually works, you might want to look elsewhere. 2. Nissan Rogue. Now, if you thought the Jaguar F-Pace was bad, wait until you hear about the Nissan Rogue. This thing has a name that screams adventure, but in reality, the only place it's taking you is to the repair shop. The biggest problem? That fancy 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. Nissan tried to be innovative by making an engine with variable compression technology, which is just a complicated way of saying, we designed something that works great in theory, but falls apart in real life. Owners report loud knocking noises, internal bearing failures, and wait for it, complete engine breakdowns. And if that wasn't enough, the Rogue's continuously variable transmission is an absolute disaster. Unlike a regular transmission, a continuously variable transmission doesn't have gears, it just kind of exists. The problem? It wears out ridiculously fast, and when it fails, you can't just repair it. Nope, you have to replace the entire thing, which costs more than what some used cars are worth. So, unless you enjoy surprise breakdowns, expensive repairs, and constantly wondering if your car is about to self-destruct, the Nissan Rogue should be avoided at all costs. 3. Jeep Grand Cherokee. 4xe and Wrangler 4xe. All right, Jeep fans, brace yourselves. We know Jeep has this whole rugged, adventurous, go-anywhere reputation, but their plug-in hybrid models, the Grand Cherokee 4xe and Wrangler 4xe, are not the tough go-anywhere machines you're hoping for. Let's start with the big problem, the battery. You know, the thing that makes a hybrid a hybrid? Well, Jeep's hybrid battery systems have been bursting into flames. That's right, we're talking actual fires. There have been multiple recalls, and some owners have been left with cars that literally burned themselves into retirement. Even if yours doesn't go up in smoke, you're still in for a headache. Owners report sudden power loss, drivetrain failures, and electrical systems that behave like they were programmed by a toddler. Mechanics are baffled because these problems are so widespread, there's no single fix. Oh, and if you live somewhere with cold winters, forget it. The 4xe models lose efficiency dramatically in low temperatures, leaving you with a vehicle that burns through fuel and battery power faster than you'd believe. If you want a Jeep that actually works, stick to the gas-powered ones. These hybrids are just expensive science experiments that never got finished. 4. Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid. Minivans. They're supposed to be reliable, right? After all, no one buys a Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid to impress their coworkers or turn heads at a stoplight. You buy one because you need something dependable to haul your kids, groceries, and soccer gear. Unfortunately, dependable is not a word we'd use to describe this thing. The Pacifica Hybrid has one of the most unreliable powertrains ever stuffed into a minivan. The hybrid system is notorious for shutting down mid-drive, yes, while you're actually on the road. Imagine cruising down the highway, kids in the back, and suddenly the entire system just decides it's nap time. And if that doesn't scare you enough, let's talk about fire risks. The Pacifica Hybrid's battery system has had so many issues that some owners have been told not to park their vans in garages. Why? Because they might catch fire. Seriously. To top it all off, repairs are a nightmare. Chrysler technicians often have no idea how to fix these issues, leaving owners stranded for weeks waiting for a solution. If you're looking for a stress-free family vehicle, do yourself a favor, skip this minivan. 5. Volkswagen Jetta. Volkswagen likes to market the Jetta as a dependable, stylish sedan that's affordable and fun to drive. And sure, it looks good on paper. But when you actually own one, that's when the problems start rolling in. First up, engine stalling. Imagine you're at a stoplight, ready to go, and the engine just shuts off. Fun, right? Owners have reported that their Jettas randomly stall without warning, making them a hazard on the road. Then there's the electrical system, which seems to have been designed by someone who's never actually driven a car. The infotainment screen goes black, dashboard lights flicker like a haunted house, and sometimes the ignition switch just refuses to work. And let's not forget about the turbocharged models, which have a nasty habit of misfiring. The engine can start sputtering, hesitating, and losing power out of nowhere. Oh, and in case you were wondering, Volkswagen has already issued 4 recalls on the Jetta in 2024 alone. That's not a great sign, is it? 6. Volvo XC60. Volvo has a reputation for safety, and sure, the XC60 will keep you alive in a crash, but what if we told you it might leave you stranded on the side of the road before you even get that far? First up, the transmission. It's about as dependable as a weather forecast 3 weeks in advance. Owners report rough shifting, delayed acceleration, and the occasional surprise transmission failure before hitting 40,000 miles. That's not exactly what you want in a luxury SUV, is it? And speaking of things that don't work, let's talk electronics. The infotainment system glitches so often you might think it's haunted, the driver assist features randomly stop working, and even the climate control forgets how to be a thermostat. Oh, and in case you were wondering, yes, the XC60 has already had multiple recalls for all of these things. 7. GMC Sierra and Chevrolet Silverado. Next, we've got the GMC Sierra and Chevrolet Silverado. They promise toughness, but deliver stress. These are supposed to be workhorses, but they act more like high-maintenance racehorses that refuse to leave the stable. The cylinder deactivation system is the biggest offender. It was designed to save fuel by shutting off half the engine cylinders when they're not needed. But instead of helping, it's been linked to engine lifter failures, misfires, and in some cases, complete engine breakdowns. Then there's the 10-speed automatic transmission, which some owners say shifts like a confused teenager learning to drive stick for the first time. Rough shifts, slipping gears, and sudden transmission failure are common. 8. Mitsubishi Mirage. If cars were contestants in a weightlifting competition, the Mitsubishi Mirage would be the one struggling to pick up the smallest dumbbell. With a whopping 78 horsepower engine, the Mirage is less of a car and more of a slow-moving traffic cone. Merging onto the highway? Forget it. Passing another car? Only if they're parked. And it's not just slow, it's also cheaply made. The interior feels like a plastic toy, the cabin is louder than a jet engine, and the suspension gives up at the first sign of a pothole. Oh, and reliability? Not great. The Mirage is known for transmission failures, overheating issues, and electrical malfunctions, all before hitting 40,000 miles. If you're on a tight budget, there are better options, like we don't know, a bicycle. 9. Ford Bronco Sport. Now, we know what you're thinking. But the Bronco Sport looks so cool. And yes, it does. But what if we told you this stylish off-roader struggles to make it down the driveway without something breaking? The main problem? That 1.5-liter 3-cylinder EcoBoost engine. It's been recalled for fuel injector cracking, which can cause fuel leaks, which, in case you didn't know, can lead to engine fires. Not exactly ideal for a vehicle that's supposed to handle the great outdoors, is it? Then there's the transmission, which has all the reliability of a scratch-off lottery ticket. Sometimes it shifts fine, sometimes it shudders and lurches, and sometimes it just doesn't shift at all. So, if you're looking for an SUV that looks like it's ready for adventure but is really just a rolling collection of mechanical issues, the Bronco Sport is perfect for you. 10. Nissan Frontier. Nissan vehicles are supposed to be dependable, right? Well, the Nissan Frontier didn't get that memo. For starters, the 9-speed automatic transmission is about as smooth as gravel in a blender. Owners report jerky shifts, rough acceleration, and outright failures, and not after years of use, but within the first few thousand miles. And if you plan on actually using your truck for, truck things, you're in for a rude awakening. The engine overheats under heavy loads, the drivetrain starts struggling, and the entire truck feels like it's working way harder than it should be. Plus, the Frontier has already racked up multiple recalls for steering failures, loose suspension parts, and braking issues. So, unless you're a fan of expensive repairs and constant trips to the dealership, you might want to steer clear of this so-called workhorse. 11. Volkswagen Taos. Volkswagen wanted to create a compact, affordable vehicle with the Taos. Instead, they made a compact, expensive headache. First, the 1.5-liter turbocharged engine has been plagued with reliability issues, including fuel system failures, engine stalling, and random power loss. Imagine merging onto the freeway, pressing the gas pedal, and nothing happens. That's the Taos experience. Then there's the dual-clutch automatic transmission, which is supposed to be sporty and quick shifting. Instead, it's hesitant, jerky, and unpredictable. It's like driving a car that's not sure if it wants to move forward or not. And let's not forget the electrical system, which seems to have been programmed by someone who gave up halfway through. Screens freeze, sensors malfunction, and sometimes the entire system just decides to reboot while you're driving. For a car that's supposed to be practical and reliable, the Volkswagen Taos is neither. 12. Ford F-150 Hybrid. If you're looking for a vehicle that combines power and fuel efficiency, the Ford F-150 Hybrid sounds like a dream. Unfortunately, that dream comes with a warranty and a roadside assistance membership, because you'll need both. The biggest issue? That fancy hybrid battery system. It's supposed to provide great mileage while keeping things smooth. Instead, owners report frequent power loss, sudden stalls, and battery failures that leave them stranded. Imagine towing a boat when your truck suddenly decides to take a nap. Not fun. Then there's the drivetrain, which is about as refined as a jackhammer on a bumpy road. Owners report clunky shifting, weird noises, and an overall unrefined driving experience. And if you think fixing a hybrid is easy, just wait until you see the repair bills. Spoiler alert, they're not small. If you love the F-150, you might be better off sticking to the good old gas-powered version. This hybrid is just not ready for prime time. 13. Rivian R1T. Now, don't get us wrong, the Rivian R1T is a cool truck. It's electric, futuristic, and packed with tech. But you know what it's not packed with? Reliability. The biggest problem? Software glitches. Owners report everything from random warning messages to entire screens shutting off while driving. 1 minute, you're cruising down the road, and the next, your truck decides to reboot itself like a laptop from 2005. And let's talk about charging issues. This thing has a habit of refusing to charge properly, which is kind of a big deal for an electric truck. Some owners have even had to tow their Rivians to a charging station because the battery refused to cooperate. Oh, and don't forget about suspension problems. For a truck that's supposed to be rugged and adventure-ready, it seems to struggle with basic durability. If you're set on owning an electric truck, maybe wait until Rivian figures out how to keep the thing running. 14. Nissan Frontier. If you're experiencing deja vu, that's because the Nissan Frontier has already been mentioned once in this list. That's how bad it is. But wait, there's more. In addition to the already terrible transmission, owners report steering issues, loose suspension components, and a braking system that sometimes just forgets how to brake. You know, just small things that don't matter at all when driving a truck. And if you think the new version is better, think again. The 2024 Frontier has already had multiple recalls, proving that Nissan still hasn't figured out how to build a reliable mid-size truck. So, unless you enjoy the thrill of unpredictable handling and unexpected repair bills, the Frontier is best left in the rearview mirror. 15. Infiniti QX50. Luxury SUVs are supposed to make life easier. You pay extra for comfort, convenience, and reliability, right? Well, Infiniti must have missed that last part, because the QX50 is about as dependable as a Wi-Fi signal in a basement. The turbocharged 2.0-liter engine is a technical nightmare, prone to stalling, misfiring, and overheating. And if you thought Nissan's continuously variable transmission was bad, wait until you experience it in a luxury SUV. It's jerky, sluggish, and frequently fails before the 40,000-mile mark. And the electronics? Yikes. The infotainment system has 2 screens, which sounds great, until neither of them work properly. Owners report freezing, random shutdowns, and an interface that feels about 10 years old. Bottom line, the QX50 is an expensive way to experience frustration. If you want a reliable luxury SUV, you'll have better luck elsewhere. 16. Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid. Minivans should be reliable, right? They're for families after all. No one wants to be stranded on the side of the road with a trunk full of groceries and 3 screaming kids. But if you buy a Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, that's exactly what might happen. The hybrid system is a disaster, prone to sudden shutdowns, battery failures, and software glitches. Some owners report that the van just refuses to start because apparently even the Pacifica doesn't want to go to soccer practice. Oh, and let's not forget the fire risk. That's right, Chrysler has warned some owners not to park these vans in their garages because they might catch fire. Nothing like a vehicle that could burn down your house while you sleep, right? For a minivan that's supposed to make life easier, the Pacifica Hybrid sure seems determined to make life harder. 17. Land Rover Range Rover. And finally, we have the king of unreliable luxury SUVs, the Land Rover Range Rover. This thing has a reputation so bad that even die-hard fans have trust issues. The biggest offenders? Engine failures, suspension breakdowns, and electrical systems that seem to have a mind of their own. If you've ever wanted to own a car that randomly decides to stop working for no reason, this is the one. The air suspension, which is supposed to make the ride buttery smooth, fails so often that owners just accept the fact that they'll be spending a lot of time at the repair shop. And the infotainment system? Well, let's just say it's more of a suggestion than an actual feature. Oh, and repairs? Ridiculously expensive. Even the most basic fixes can cost thousands of dollars, which is great news if you enjoy watching your bank account disappear before your eyes. And there you have it, cars you definitely don't want breaking down on you before 40,000 miles. Some looked promising, some were hyped up, but all of them turned out to be expensive headaches. Now, we want to hear from you. Have you owned any of these cars, or did we miss one that deserves a spot? Drop your experiences in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a video.